How to prevent a user from changing the database objects. We'll see that in a minute. Hello everybody and welcome to Database Knowledge. Today we will talk about DDL trigger. DDL trigger stands for Data Definition Language Trigger, which is a trigger that fires automatically in response to data definition language commands. For example, create, alter, drop, grant, revoke, and all these sort of commands as we know them. The use of DDL trigger is to prevent certain changes to occur in the database schema. Also, we can use them to record any changes happen in the database schema, or we can do something in response to changes happen in the database schema. Today we'll have a scenario that we have two users. One is administrator and the other one is just a developer. We want to prevent the developer to change anything in the database schema which is related to our system. But on the other hand, we want to give him freedom to create, change his own objects. So first, let us know how does the DDL trigger work. In the previous video, we explained how the DML trigger works by using something called a conceptual table, which we're logging the transactions, and after the trigger is fired, this table is no longer there. In the DDL trigger, there is something similar called event data, which is capturing all the changes the user is trying to do in the database schema. This event data is actually happening inside the trigger, and after that there is no more. Also, it is about an XML, very simple to understand and very simple to get the tags out of them, and from these tags and these variables we know exactly what to do. Let us have an example. We have two users, admin user and dev user. Both of them are SQL Server authentication user, and both of them are mapped to our database DBnew under the role of DB owner. So both of them are a DB owner. DB owner actually is a role where the user under this role can do anything in the database. I will log in using the admin user and I will create this trigger. Use DBnew, create trigger and give it a name on database. It can be on database, in all server. This is some other definition to know exactly where this trigger will be created and take effect. 4. Here are the events I wanted them to be captured by the trigger. Alter table, drop table, create table, and rename. As first, I need to declare some variables in order to capture the event data happening inside this trigger. Let us have a look at the event data XML. It's very simple and it has all the information I need to use inside the trigger. So usually I will assign this information using the tags around by using a simple XQuery thing. So for example, I take the schema name, the object name, the sys user, and everything, and I set those into variables, and here I will put the condition of the DDL trigger. Any user alter a table or drop it or create a table or rename it, what will happen if this user is not admin user and if the schema name is DBO, then I will raise this message, permission denied, and I print it and I will roll it back. Let us try to do this with the other user. Here we'll log into the system with the dev user. I will try to create a table under the DBO schema. I will call it test table. Very simple. I create it. So the trigger stops me. It says a permission denied. Contact your system administrator. Okay. If I created this table, the same table under the schema dev, not DBO, the table is created. Here it is. So simply this trigger prevented non-administrator users to mess up with the DBO schema in my database. But are we done? No, actually not. Remember, both of them, dev user and admin user, were under the role of the DB owner. Means that the dev user can disable this trigger and do any changes he wants, enable the trigger again, and get away with it. Because the DB owner role has all permissions except of those were denied from it. So simply, I will deny the permission to alter any database trigger from the dev user. Here it is. And now the dev user cannot disable the trigger and he cannot touch the DBO schema in my database. With those variables come out from the event data, in addition to the DDL commands, there is a big variety can be used to write a proper DDL trigger to prevent unauthorized changes to the database schema and always keep it protected. In the video description there is a link where you can find all the DDL events, also the DDL commands, and all the scripts used in this video are included in the Google Drive. I hope that was useful, and please, if you like the video, subscribe and share it. It might be useful for somebody else. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Hussam.
ده احنا القلب اللي طاير متشعبط في الحياة، مهما نلف في دواير زي الريشة سوا، راجعين أقوى وطايرين، وعالمين عالمين عالمين عالصعب في حياتنا متعودين، الدنيا بقت لعبتنا ومكملين مهما الدنيا تحدى.